Hey, we're back. That was rough. That was a big break. That was a big break off. I think we lost the whole stream. I think it died. No, the Medium R3 article's a good read. Yo, yo. So we're talking about the sandboxing still. People are talking about the sandboxing idea because they're thinking that there's some kind of like secret ledger they can put their you know, votes on, or put their hopes that that's like being stress tested right now. I don't know. I'm not really sure. What's going on? What's going on? Let's do the whole thing again. Let's do the whole thing again. We just started from the beginning. Let's try again. Let's try again. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, we lost our stream, and we're back. Here we are. We're back. What's going on, guys? I think we're back. Yo, you just got the notification. Cheers. What's going on, guys? How are you? Tell me more. What's up? Good morning. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Crypto Live in the Mornings with Kung Fu. We just tried to run a stream, and it crashed, and we are back now, hanging out live with you guys. We were just talking about the Brad AMA that happened yesterday evening, last night. What'd you guys think? Did you guys check it out? Where is this? Where is this AMA? There we are. The final AMA of 2019. Yeah. You thought they were coming for me? Hey, welcome back. Hey, thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for coming back. What's going on? Tell me more. You got the notification. Foo, what's up? What's up? I was at work during the AMA and I missed the whole thing. Honestly, the AMA was pretty solid. I think it wasn't, I didn't expect them to make any major announcements. I didn't expect them to make any major announcements. He dropped the name Bitstamp. That was the hint, I guess. Bitstamp drop. That's what Jake's saying. Smash the like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. Thank you so much. And the other things that stuck out to me that he said that were really big, I think he said it's a marathon. I thought that was really big. He's like, this is a marathon, not a sprint. He also said that there is, you know, there's some clarity about the regulation that we need. He said there's a big partner that, you know, they could maybe not announce because the partner is not ready to make that announcement, and they respect that. So there's some other things that I think all add together to make it really like an interesting AMA. Yeah, he did forget Bitstamp. So what really is happening with that? And did you expect more? We didn't hear him, I think, answer the integration question, but he did answer Hordor's question about tracking XRP volume levels. And that's actually one of the things that people are kind of talking about right now with the secret ledgers. You know, like people are like, where's the volume for XRP? Where's the corridor for remittances? Can we see it? Etc. And he even gave Hodor a shout out. That was kind of cool. So many of the XRP community have been attempting to track the volume of XRP, and we know that there's basically a reality to expecting the volume and the partners to bring a higher price. But I don't really know. I don't really know how to do that. So that would be one of the things that they'd kind of have to help us. They'd have to help show us how to do that, because as far as we know, we're thinking that we were just looking at everything in the charts here. So we have trade volume at a specific price, ledger volume at a specific price, or a specific amount. And if you go look, we were just talking about this a second ago in the first stream before we lost it. We've noticed that if you go check out the USD Tether pairing to XRP, which it says USD Tether still, but right here it says USDS. So I wonder if that's the USD stablecoin circle now. I'm not sure. But if we look at this, Here's the run up from Monday afternoon. You can see we hit right up into the 39 cent of the top of the Bollinger Band here. And that is a really strong run for XRP. It was at 28 cents, I believe, around 28 cents, 27 cents for a second. And the bigger news for me is that BTC has climbed against Bitcoin. So even though Bitcoin took a run and Bitcoin's up, XRP's climbed by about 500 Satoshis against Bitcoin. So making it towards 10,000 Satoshis on the ledger. That's pretty awesome stuff because of the fact that we only saw XRP at 22,000 Satoshis when it was at its all-time high last year. So that's big stuff. The marathon reference was big. He accidentally name dropped Bitstamp. That's what Jake's saying. So yeah, smash the like button, guys. Smash subscribe. Thank you so much for coming back. We just had a stream crash out, and now we're back. We're back. We're doing it again. Lakeside Crypto said, I don't even think he wants to mention Bitstamp. The host mentioned it first, and he was like, oh yeah, them. Yeah, I think he definitely forgot, and Monica reminded him. Aaron says, FYI, a couple of your videos the last couple days could not be accessed. Not sure if you are aware. Oh no. What videos are that? What videos can you not access? Please tell me more, or like send a tweet or take a screenshot and tweet it at me so I know what's happening so I can address that. And I can see what I can do to repost them or to make sure they're not listed private or something. David says, Kung Fu used the marathon reference last year and said we were at mile 1. People need to be patient and allow Brad, David, Corey, and all to run their play. This is a mid to long term play. Yeah, this is again one of those things that I know we've all been excited about end of year. We're excited about. We were just talking in the last stream about how the 21st is a rumored day for Coinbase adoption. Like Coinbase might all of a sudden decide to list XRP, and as if that's going to do anything for the price now that we're so far into the bear market, and most everyone who's decided to invest is probably invested. And we did see Brad yesterday say in his AMA that he expected more institutional investors to be in the market at this time, and we haven't seen that. So there's a lot of stuff that he kind of dropped in there that's pretty knowledgeable. And if you were expecting, you know, secret ledger discussions or mirror ledger discussions, you know, I don't know if they're going to be onto that. I don't know if they're ever going to tell us about that. And again, if there is a secret ledger or a private ledger they're using for testing, I don't understand why they would ever. Why would they not test XRPL? Why would they come back to XRPL? It's rough. It's rough. It's funny that he didn't know if Hodor was a guy or a girl. Yeah, I really hope Brad does watch Game of Thrones. If Brad doesn't watch Game of Thrones, then I'm gonna be recommending he watch Game of Thrones. If he didn't know Hodor was a guy or a girl, yeah. I think he meant the real person behind the mask, if the real person was a guy or a girl. And he said he assumed it was a guy because Hodor's a guy. Good thinking. We got to hit this thing because we didn't hit it yet. And it's kind of important. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a fiduciary. I'm not making financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a fiduciary. And I'm not offering financial advice. I'm looking at information and reviewing it with you. Also, before we get started, go ahead and click that subscribe button and click that like button. Subscribe. I'll fix it. I'll put the video up where it says 13 or 14K. I'll fix that. No big deal. Next. What's up, everyone? Hello. Cheers, Joshua. Hello. What's going on, Cisco? Thank you so much, Cisco. The best thing about Kung Fu stream going down is I get to like them twice. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, please like the stream. It means a lot. Thank you, guys. Thomas says, what's up, everybody? Diane, hello. Mike Smith, I am sick and tired of hearing about BG123. I think a lot of people are just kind of getting fed up. If you look at the like stock cycles or whatever, that's like famous cycles of the stock market. This solid image that people love to pop up and check out. This is pretty, you know, that's pretty good. That's not the one we're looking at. We're looking at this one. Psychology of market cycles. We talk about this every now and then, and this is kind of important to look at. If you've noticed people are upset right now, or if they're like kind of more upset than they've been in the past, could we say that we've safely arrived at the panic, anger? Where are we? Are we in hope yet? Are we in depression? Disbelief. We're not in disbelief. I don't think we're in disbelief. Depression, my retirement money is lost. How can we ever pay for all this new stuff? I'm an idiot. I don't know. Are we there? Anger. Who shorted the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? Question marks. Why did the government allow this to happen? Damn the government. I'm getting 100% out of the market. I can't afford to lose money. Capitulation. Are we at capitulation? Panic. Don't sell. Everyone's selling. Shit, I should sell. I need to get out. Is that, I don't know. Denial. My investments are with great companies. They will come back. Woo! I don't know, guys. I don't know. People are pretty angry. So maybe we're in anger. Why am I getting margin calls? This dip's taking longer than expected. Anxiety. Where are you feeling? Complacent? We just need to cool off. We just need to cool off for the next rally. Euphoria. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. We'll all be rich. Thrill, belief, optimism, and I think hope. Disbelief and hope are over there. Here's a simplified market cycle. Can you see that? Peak, trough. Peak, trough. Peak, trough. What's going on? Hey, thanks for joining the stream, guys. What's happening from work in Idaho? What's up, gig life? We're at the wrecked stage. Where is that on the chart? Between panic and anger. Later, bro. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for joining Body Sculpting. Cheers, man. Loco says we're in depression. My retirement money's lost. Okay. I might be in depression, but I don't know if the market is. Oh, zinger. Zinger. So funny, guy. So funny. So, yeah. Wall Street cheat sheet, psychology of a market cycle. Where are you seeing ourselves? Where are you looking at? Are we in the anger, depression stage yet? Capitulation, panic? We might be in the capitulation, panic. There might be another like month of anger, depression. We might be in the disbelief, depression phase where it's like, this is a sucker's rally. You guys ever seen that? The sucker rally? Does this look like a sucker's rally to you? You calling me a sucker, bro? Don't call me a sucker. You a sucker, sucker. So 36 cents on XRP. It broke away from the top of the Bollinger Band. It's coming down. And we're looking at the 2-hour window. Look at the 4-hour. So there you go. It could still be on an upward trajectory. It's still above the upper Bollinger Band. Looking at that 1 hour. It's kind of bouncing right down below it and coming down near it again. Woo! Oh, 30 minutes we drop below. So 30 minutes we drop below the mid Bollinger Band right there, and you can see basically what looks like it could be the beginning of the drop, or it could be the beginning of the run because we're in disbelief or depression. I don't know. There's a lot of neat price peaks you have. These are some nice peaks you have. I think we're in disbelief, Flip says. Panic was 6K, which was the bottom to a new bottom 3K. Suicide stage. Flip, that's a good. Flip just chimed in and said he thinks that we're at the bottom, or we're in the disbelief stage, which would be right here. We're thinking this might be a sucker's rally, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's really happening right now. We might have just passed the bottom. Henrik Thormick says the real depression is real. We see people entirely broke and commit suicide. We're not there yet, and hope we're not going to get there. He's right, and that's a real thing. In fact, the other day, I feel like honestly, the big problem for me is that that's a real thing. Like there's people that they get in a weird space, and suicide is not a joke. People, there is a very, very high rate of suicide right now. I think actually white males, I think single white males are like the highest stage of suicide, are the highest demographic for suicide right now. And I think that there's a reality to us kind of like being able to like talk about both sides, like to talk about what's really happening here and talk about the challenges that we face if we're seeing the value leave the market. And I think that Henrik's right. The other day there was some kind of like article I was reading about suicide prevention and suicide awareness. And if you or someone is feeling in any way like you're having dangerous thoughts, reach out to a professional, talk to someone, open up, find a family member or something. That's real. It's real shit. So I definitely think that needs to be addressed. And it's possible that, it's possible that we, maybe we're not in depression yet because we're not really seeing we're not really seeing too much of that. Whoa, whoa. Let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah. So someone else just said we're in denial. Denial was one of the ones I thought we were kind of in. Whenever I read this, my investments are with great companies. They will come back. That kind of feels like where I am right now, where I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I know we all have that trending hashtag that people like. That's like zero doubt hashtag. I like that hashtag, and I think it's cool for us to be like, yo, I got zero doubt. And long term, I don't have a lot of doubt, but short term, I kind of do. Short term, I'm kind of like, I have no idea what's happening. Short term, I could expect more of a drop, more of manipulation in the market, and it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I would not place my happiness in expectations of price before end of year. I do think that there is a possibility that we have good gains, coming through, big possibilities for XRP. But what's really happening out here with the Forbes, will Ripple's XRP thrive in 2019 was the article we were just talking about before the stream fell off. So this came out just today, talking on Forbes about Ripple XRP thriving in 2019. We did see in the AMA, Brad was saying, well, we're not really getting a lot of the institutional investors we thought. And we can't say that he's wrong. We did not see any of the real institutional investors that we expected to come through. Are they waiting for something else? What's happening out there in the world? So what's up, XRP junkie? Thanks for checking on me. I am alive. That's about all. Flip Panic was 6K, which the bottom was a new 3K. So yeah, maybe the bottom is 3K. Maybe we're sitting around near it now. XRP Fanboy says we're in denial as well. MoX says that we're in the anger stage. So looking at all these different stages, looking at this little run right here, people are saying maybe we're in disbelief. People are saying maybe we're in anger or denial. It's hard to say. And this cycle could be really its own cycle for a second before we come out and we hit hope and optimism and belief and thrill. So it might be a minute before we see any thrill and euphoria again, and that's okay. That's, again, just what happens with these markets. That's what happens. That's what happens, guys. Yeah, how can they hide volume? It's one ledger. It's a good question. 2,700 bottom for BTC and 27 cent XRP makes the most sense, says El Brando. So he's saying that we still have a little bit further to drop. We're on a bounce right now. Yes, the cycle definitely depends on when you got in. That's a very good point. So yeah, right now, if you're at 36 cents and you got in at 2 cents, then you're still in thrill. Maybe you're still in euphoria. Maybe you'll just keep flying towards more euphoria. You never know. You never know. Is that a yearly chart? Compare it. Is that a yearly chart? What chart are you talking about? No, I'm not. I'm not in denial. You're in denial. Stop talking about denial. Yeah, all the negativity's FUD, you're saying? Someone, who was that? Cryptoka said all the negativity's FUD. You know what? I'm down for thinking that it's FUD, but I also think that there's a reality to, what's the real like challenge right now, I think, is like looking for the real news or like looking for real information and real facts. I find myself looking often for like something to happen or some kind of breaking news to be coming out about XRP and the price. And especially when you see the price moving in a positive direction, you're like, oh, cool, price is moving. What's happening? What's really happening? But whenever we see good news come out, like you could see good news come out maybe later today, and it wouldn't really seem to affect the price too much. So there's something that's holding up the market, and that's something that we know about. It's called clarity for regulation, and it's called institutional investors, and that's big. That's what we need. We need that clarity. We need those basically custodial services for us to be able to expect people to want to hold these. I think that you can understand that people maybe a generation older than you would not be excited about buying some new digital money, some internet money. People are not rushing out to buy internet money. It's not a thing that they're interested in, right? They're maybe interested in something else, something entirely different. So yeah, what's really happening with this? Is the market going to respond positively in 2 or 3 days because of the 21st? Is the market going to wait till end of year, till the January 1st for us to see some type of movement because of the R3 Core to Settler app, which would be actually the first commercial grade solution for crypto and XRP other than Ripple, who's making their own RippleNet? That'd be a really big move. So January 1st is an exciting day for me on the calendar. I don't know what the price is going to be. I don't know what that means in any way other than the fact that we have some movement right now that seems to be fine and good and dandy. I don't know if that means that we're going to keep going up or not, but I think we have just 2 weeks to find out what's happening on January 1st and find out where we are, maybe to give some clarity for this cycle and where we are in it. What is real? How do you define real? Yes, that's true. What is real? That's a good question. Thanks for keeping it real, KFN. Refreshing real talk from the space after all the BG 123 crap. If Wall Street believed this is going to be mooning by end of year, they would be backing up the truck. And I think that David D is right. I think they have been backing up the truck in a sense, but they're backing up the truck to build out the network to facilitate use case. So they're backing up the truck is really like them building the infrastructure for them to make use of these digital assets. It's not they're not necessarily speculative investors. And I think that's where we can see a lot of the confusion comes in. We talked about this the last few streams, how there's a lot of innovation happening on the developer side. There's a lot of people that are actually making really positive marks and changes in the ecosystem for these coins, but you see the speculative investors kind of being confused because the price does not reflect those innovations. The price does not reflect the improvements of the network or the expansion of the network or the additional partners to the network. The price doesn't reflect that. And the price hasn't reflected that for a long time. In fact, the price might have never reflected that. And so we're waiting to see what that looks like. What does it look like when the price actually is reflected by the utility and the partners going through it? I can say that there are so many big partners with Ripple and XRP that it's really just exciting to see. Some of the big ones they list in this article about will XRP thrive in 2019 is, will Ripple thrive based off these significant partnerships? And we're looking at Israel's GMT, Turkey's Akbank, American Express, CIBC, MoneyGram. And again, I'm not really sure what that price will be because we've noticed, David Schwartz talks about this, that there is not a direct correlation between price and utility right now. So that's a good question, and that's a good point. There's a lot of possibilities out here. Is it possible that there is no later stage because this pattern's 90% drops are normal in crypto markets and not in other markets, so the last few stages are rapid and not dramatic in effect? It is also possible that there is no later stage because of this pattern is 90% drop. So XRP fanboy chiming in, talking about the context, putting context around his comment. He's talking about the cycles of the market, the psychology of a market cycle, so the feelings that appear in the market as it fluctuates. XRP fanboy says, but perhaps I'm in denial and just trying to find excuses. So you got to really check yourself sometimes. Like, I know it's easy for you to think you know, and I think that that's one of the problems too, is that everybody seems to think they know. All of a sudden, everybody's a professional. All of a sudden, everybody's an expert and a crypto influencer and a crypto millionaire and a crypto, I can tell you about all the stuff, guy, girl, or whatever. And I think that we have to really each check ourselves. Where are we at? Are we in anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, disbelief? I think that might be the cycle that we're stuck in right now. Is this, the cycle is between, we've literally cut out the part of the cycle that goes from optimism to complacency. We've just cut that part of the cycle out. I think we're just going from anxiety to disbelief over and over again. We're going anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, disbelief. Anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, disbelief. That's the cycle now. We just cut out the top part. That's fine. That's fine. XRP has had continuous good news this year with no amazingly huge price increase. And I think that that's the reason Vision Quest, that we've seen no real price movement because of all the good partners, is because the market's just being pinned down by a lot of the misinformation around crypto, the misinformation around Bitcoin, the manipulation of the market by Bitfinex and Tether. So there's a lot of, there's basically a lot of panic and denial and capitulation and anger and disbelief. So that's possible. 589 in 4 years, says Connor Murphy, question mark. 589 in 4 years. Honestly, since I have a sweet big old bag of 500 XRP, that's right, that's how many I have, times 589. That sounds sweet, bro. That sounds real sweet. I'd take a sweet chill 300K in 4 years. No big deal. Clara T says she got kicked off CKJ's stream. Well, that's weird that you were on his stream at all. Maybe I should kick you out of my stream. Then you have no home. Yeah, just kidding. What's up? Welcome back. Run, Bulls, run. Go, Bulls. Win, Moon. You can't be afraid to lose it all. That's how investing works. Totally. And that's the point, is that we've been saying this for a long time. You cannot invest more than you can afford to lose. There is a very real cycle of recovery and prosperity in every contraction expansion. So there's a very real recovery and prosperity in every contraction expansion. The fact is that most people have not been trading. They've been holding, and long-term holding is, again, going to be good long-term, not short-term. And that's especially true in a bear market. Even if we see these short troughs and peaks, the people that are making money in there are the day traders, and the day traders are usually making money because they have enough of a specific coin to kind of manipulate the market. And that's what we talk about when we talk about market manipulation. We talk about the whales accumulating more and just kind of making a mess of this. And I think that you can say that the people building out the global infrastructure don't really care. They don't care at all. They're just trying to build out the checkpoints, and they don't really, they don't really care, I think, too much about anything other than creating the functional infrastructure. So that's their priority more than anything else. More than anything else. XRP Fanboy says, when I become a crypto millionaire, I will come in here with a chip on my shoulder and tell all the people what the truth is. LOL. LOL. Maybe you're already a crypto millionaire and you're just trolling us. Is that what you're doing, bro? Quit trolling. Illmatic says, hey, how does one TA an asset price that was volume driven? How can one predict volume? Exactly. Illmatic Beats is dropping the real knowledge. So whenever I make comments about, oh yeah, trading analysis and day trading, etc., most of the time I chime in and say at the same moment that there's only two metrics that affect the market right now, and the two metrics that affect the market most are speculative movement and trajectory. And if that doesn't add up to you to show you why TA is not really going to give you that much insight right now, it's because the market does not have any real metrics to really kind of measure, because it's all based off of speculative movement and trajectory. And if it's all speculation and trajectory, then that is a very, very ripe problem for manipulators, right? Because manipulators can just go to town with that. And that's why you can actually see there's some bots that do bot trading based off of social sentiment. There's like bots that are looking at social sentiment around crypto, and that gives them insight into the trade of the day, because there's actually more metrics to be found correlating to price right now from social metrics than there are from true utility metrics. And that right there should be a huge indicator to what's happening, and also a huge indicator to why it's interesting and dangerous to listen to just random people on the internet talking about random stuff like crypto. And I'm kind of calling myself out for that. Like, it's kind of, I'm one of those people, so I get it, but you just got to really check yourself, and you got to listen to the people that you're listening to, and really kind of like give yourself like a gut check. Like, what is this person doing, and why are they sharing this news, and what is the benefit? I think that there's a possibility too that we can see the social metrics around the price movement is very, very telling of the fact that TA right now is kind of shit. TA is shit right now. And I appreciate you, Illmatic Beats, for calling me on that. Totally. Thanks, man. Don't lie, Clara. Don't lie. I did not kick you from here. What did you think of the AMA yesterday? I thought it was good. I didn't expect anything other than that. I thought it was going to be just that. Just him talking about where they are, him giving a little bit of a backdrop to, they're doing it basically for to keep the people informed, I think, to keep the people up to date. And there's a possibility that, You know, people expected something more out of the AMA than what was happening, and I think that that's fine. I think that people are, you know, excited about something. They're excited about something possible, and that's where we can see hope right here in the cycle. Hope. So maybe we're bouncing back and forth between disbelief and hope, or depression and disbelief and hope, or panic, capitulation, disbelief and hope. I don't know. I think it's just fine. The AMA was fine. He answered a few questions. He gave us some insights. He said that they're behind on the institutional investors they expected to be here. He said that they are, you know, doing a marathon, not a sprint. So that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, no, totally. Raymond's right. Raymond's 100% right. And you know what? I thought about the other day. I almost thought about not doing live streams. In fact, I could change the name of this stream to my last live stream ever. I thought about not doing live streams anymore because I feel like at some point in time, I'm like, I look at stuff and I'm like, there's not really any big news today. And if there's not anything really big, and I go live and I just say like, my title is like not big news, nobody wants to watch it, right? And then if, you know, if I make the title something exciting to get people in there, just to talk about what's happening in the day, and there's kind of, I agree, there's some confusion around that. And I think, Raymond, you were right. The thing too is like, if you guys don't know this, YouTube takes a majority of the donations. YouTube takes like 40% of my donations from you guys. So if you guys really want to support me and you want to send me support, people actually send me money on PayPal, and people send me money from directly on XRP Ledger and stuff. So I have to say I agree that there is a challenge to the fact that people are definitely just doing live streams to get support from their subscribers, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the guy that just shows up just to like dance around for your donations. That's not my style. But I also have to respect and recognize that I have been given so much support and donations from you guys. And, you know, yeah, YouTube, I think YouTube actually takes like 20%, not 40. I think I said it a little high. I think it's like YouTube takes like 20%, and that's fine. It's probably just like the way it is with taxes and stuff. But, you know, you guys have given me so much. I feel like I could go live and talk to you guys for like another year and never get donated to again, because I don't really owe you, but I feel like I want to just keep giving. Like I want to give to you more than you give to me. Like I want to give to you more than you give to me. And I'd love to be able to do that. I'd love to know how I can do that. And the best thing I can do is to sit down and tell you what's happening in the market from my perspective as just another person that does understand computers. It does understand coding and the development of this digital infrastructure. And I'm not the smartest guy. I don't have a doctorate in this stuff. I'm not coding out these algorithms, but I am very interested in it. And I'm very interested in this conversation. And I'm very much excited about what this does and the opportunities this brings to the table for people around the world, not just for investors, not just for banks that want to save money, but for literally changing the barrier of entry for people that need to have a store of value, or to have the ability to exchange value, to have a micro efficiency inside of a monetary system like that. And so I think the problem is really recognizing that you guys are 100% correct. That all of this stuff is 100% true. There is a lot of, even Brad yesterday said there's a lot of bad actors out here. And you know, like there's a lot of bad actors in this space. And I can't say I know what anyone's real intentions are. You guys have to decide for yourself. You know, like who can fathom the depths of another man's heart? Who can fathom the depths of another person's heart is a good question to ask. So yeah, we don't really know. We don't really know what's going on. And thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. It appears XRP has lost 200 million in circulating supply earlier this month. Did you notice? We were at 40.9 billion and now we're at 40.7 billion. Any insight? David D has got a great question. To put some context around his question, he's asking about the actually circulating supply. So people show up sometimes and they're like, they're maybe just joining crypto and they're like, I wonder why Bitcoin's 3,800 and XRP's 37 cents. The difference is because of the circulating supply of coins. Obviously, supply demand, very simple metric there. And he's talking about the change of 200 million XRP missing from circulating supply. Whenever I see things like that happen, whenever I see changes like that to Live Coin Watch or to Coin Market Cap, I often don't take it as as truth. Like I often just take it as another projection, kind of like market cap, right? Like I take market cap as not really a truth. It's a projection of the last price on the exchange against how many coins there are in circulation. So we know that's not really real, right? It's just the best metric we have right now. This is the best metric we have right now. And that's another challenge, is that if you guys like paradoxes, one of my favorite paradoxes is the Heisenberg principle. The Heisenberg principle is a simple statement. It's one of the first Western scientific acceptance moments. It's like a scientific paradox, right? It's the first time that like science really like embraced this paradox. If you guys like Breaking Bad, the character Heisenberg is actually, he's a Nobel-winning physicist, and he's like a quantum physicist. He theorized this principle, the Heisenberg principle. It talks about basically the uncertainty principle, and that's what it is. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle, it goes into the speculation, or goes into discussion about how you can know in space, you can know where something is, but you don't know how fast it's going or what direction, or you can know where it's going and how fast, but you don't know exactly where it is. And that's a paradox, right? Because you kind of think you should be able to know both. You're like, well, wait, how does that work? They're looking at celestial bodies and the movement of celestial bodies in space, and they're talking about how the paradox is that you can know where something is in a snapshot, or you can know where it's going and how fast, but you don't really know where it is. And that's, it's like this, right? It's like both. And so that's kind of one of the problems with the metrics right now for market cap is like, yeah, there's $67 billion in Bitcoin, but not really, because if like 1,000 people sold all their Bitcoin, the market tanks. It's a coded store of value. It's a coded store of value, right? So if you have like if you have a bunch of people selling and the price is dropping as they're selling, each time they sell, it's re-evaluating the coded store of value. It's refreshing the actual market cap based off of the price, based off the circulating supply. So sometimes whenever I see changes to the circulating supply on some of these sites, I think it's just because there's like maybe a change in the API or a change in the way they're collecting the data, and it may not be an exact representation of the actual circulating supply. It might just be a misrepresentation of data. So it's a great question though. That is a really, really great question. Thank you so much, Eric. You were right. That's one of the best things. Actually, that's one of the best things that I really get excited about is the Coil subscriber donations. And if you guys don't know very much about Coil, it's basically like this new monetary, it's like a new protocol for content support on the internet. Coil is part of the ecosystem of XRP. You can go and sign up at coil.com as a content creator. If you create content, if you're in making YouTube videos, or if you have a website and you want to, you can go to coil.com and you can use the XRP tip bot built by Weetza to get an ILP connector, and you can connect yourself to the ILP connector. Is amazing. You guys should all get one. The first, I think, publicly available ILP address for people. It's basically like an international bank address. It's like the first email account for money. And I have one. You can get one at xrptipbot.com, and then you can go to coil.com and you put your ILP connector in, and then you can actually get streaming payments of XRP from supporting Coil. So that's a real thing. That's really cool. And I really appreciate that. You guys that are Coil subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. There are only solutions, never problems. I agree. That's a good point. There's not really ever a problem, just an opportunity for a solution. Everything that doesn't get sold gets put back in escrow. Yeah, Illmatic Beats, I guess, is maybe answering some questions or chiming in and talking about the escrow. So XRP has 60 billion coins in escrow. The other there's 100 billion coins created. There's 40 billion in the market. So the other 59 billion are in escrow, and they take them out once a month to use them if they can find a use for them. Like they were giving them away to universities. I think University of Texas down the street got some. In fact, I was thinking about if I should go and take some classes in their blockchain lab, because I would love to do that. That'd be sweet. So some things I'm thinking about doing, but That's what they do. They basically take the XRP out of the escrow, and they can see if they can find a way to incentivize use or incentivize development or incentivize someone to basically kind of like play with it, and they give it to them, and then they put the rest back. So there you go. There you go. John Labraca says, if the altcoins were pegged to BTC or Ethereum due to lack of trading pairs in 2018, then I'm sure the total market cap is still a paradox. Yes, totally. So you're totally touching back on the market cap metric. It's a very skewed metric. It doesn't do a very good job of providing us with any real data, or it does. It provides us with real data, but not like the best. It's not the best. Ripple stated how they'll keep the price of XRP consistent for the banks when they're using it for payments. Has Ripple stated how they will keep the price of XRP consistent for banks when they're using it for payments? That's a really good question. And Chellfire, I think, shot a really solid answer at you. Chellfire knows what's up. XRP is so fast to solve. Basically, it's so fast to settle that there's not going to be enough volatility in a 3-second window for them to care, right? The bigger question is, what will be the price at the end of the network, right? So what's the price at the two ends of the corridor they're using? And that's where people started talking about the arbitrage opportunities. Is Xpool going to create arbitrage opportunities? Are the market makers that are specific to the checkpoints and endpoints of the corridor going to have different prices? Is there going to be an institutional price and a retail price? And that's a video I'm trying to finish, and I didn't get it done yesterday. I've just been slammed, so much stuff to do. Yesterday was a really weird day for me, and I just did my best to make it through the day. And here we are, day later. So thinking about, yeah, the possibility of Xpool. And honestly, guys, I kind of like, I've had so much going on in my personal life. I have not really been as into this as I was maybe a month ago. So it's hard for me sometimes to like get back into it and keep myself informed. So if you guys have anything that you guys want to share or insights or things that are happening, it's great when you send them to me or let me know. The other day, Jungle shot some questions at me and it was great. I felt like Jungle and I were kind of like on a similar vibe for a moment because he was asking me things about something I had just basically shot a video on, talking about Xpool, talking about the hexagraph theory, talking about the different prices for retail or institutional markets. I think that's a really interesting conversation right now. And so, yeah, I'm trying to put up a video talking about that a little bit more. But Chelly Fire is 100% correct. She's saying, you know, the XRP moves so fast that it doesn't really, there's not enough volatility in the 3-second window for it to affect their price. And there's so much savings to be had by using XRP that I think that small amount of slippage is not that big a deal. So one of the bigger things that happened today, one of the biggest things that happened today in my mind is this article in Forbes talking about will Ripple XRP thrive in 2019. Forbes, again, is a pretty big news source, a pretty mainstream outlet for information. It's already got 6,000 views today, and people are probably discussing this, talking about it. There's definitely there's a line being drawn in the sand, and I think some people are on board and they're entertaining this conversation. I think some people are drawing the line in the sand and saying that they are not ready yet to take this leap. And I think that there's a gray area. I think that there's some people that might be in the gray area where they're saying, you know what, I'm starting to have doubt. I'm starting to have doubt about what's happening. I've been hearing a lot of misinformation, and it's led me to feel confused about the price and the end of year possibilities. And that's why it's really dangerous, I think, to have too much expectation around something. You can definitely keep learning about it, and you can be hopeful about good news coming. And I can say the last time that we were down here in the 20-30 cent range and I went fishing, I think it was in like 4 hours that XRP shot up to some like 80 cents. And it did retrace since then. It did come back. If we look at the day window, I think we can find it. Yeah, so right around there. That 80 cents that we found from 25 cents happened so fast. It happened so fast. And people were saying that it was volume testing. People were saying that was a stress test. And maybe it was a stress test months before they're actually going to push something through. That was all the way back in September. That was around my birthday. That was literally my birthday. And it was just like, pow, right in the kisser. Pow, right in the kisser. That's weird. Was that my birthday? I don't think that was my birthday. Was it like the day after? That was a weird, that's a weird time frame. I don't remember. I don't remember. I thought I was fishing. I don't know. Now I'm just trying to think about if I like hung out with my my X on that day, or I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, looking at the 80 cent run up happened pretty quick, and obviously we've had some retracement, a lot of retracement back down to 28 cents. So we're coming back down towards that 25 cent mark. And what does that mean? How fast can the price uptick? How fast can you see this? We talk about this switch being flipped often, as if there's going to be some kind of switch flipped that's just going to like turn over the volume immediately. That might be possible. That might be possible. So they could just decide to use it, and like volume picks up really quick, and bam, there you go. There you go. There you go. Hey, KFN. Can the IMF create a platform built on XRP where a central bank can issue digital currency? Yes. Yes and yes. That is a really good question. Bullable guy, dropping some great questions. That's why I built my own coin, was to show you guys. Coil has started taking on new signups. So yeah, you should be able to get your email soon about Coil signup. The IMF building on XRP is very real possibility. That's why I built a Kung Fu Nerd coin, because I just wanted to show you guys that it's possible. I built one on XRP Ledger. It's basically like a XRP coin that's been colored to look like mine. And it's still just an XRP coin, but it's basically only holding value with the people that I issue trust with, or that they issue trust to me. And that is another way for us to create value in that ledger. And that's an interesting thing to bring up right now, because yes, the IMF fully has the capacity to build what we're going to call a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. And so a central bank digital currency would be able to solve a lot of problems right now. It would be able to give them control. It would give them the ability to freeze and control that asset, but it would not, you are not freezing XRP. You're freezing your own coin on the ledger. Now, that would mean that we could see they would have control of it. It would also be efficient and beautifully done, because it's built on XRP. And it also would be very interoperable at a base level, because it's built on XRP. That's a really good question. Henrik says, you never got your YouTube Coil monetized? No, dude, I do. I got mine. I signed up when they came out. Like the day Coil went live, I made a video about it and I put my channel on it. And I was a little bit nervous at first. Like, man, I make a lot of crazy XRP videos. I was like, I wonder if they're going to be like, because you have to give them basically to sign in. To sign into Coil's YouTube, you just sign with the YouTube API. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. This is gonna be weird. Should I do this? And I just decided to do it. I trusted them and I put it up. And yeah, I just signed it up for Coil as a content creator like months ago. So that's one of the best things that happens. Let's go check it out. Actually, I'll show you guys what's up. It just started raining in Austin, so I got nothing else to do. So let's go look at this. You just go log in. You can go to the XRP tip bot and just log in with your Twitter account. And there you go. Wow, look how many tips I've sent. Look at that. 1,800 tips sent. I've sent more tips than I've gotten. I've sent 900 XRP to people. I've sent over 900 XRP out. I only have 500. I've given away 900. If XRP goes to 589, I've given out 500,000. Oh! No one, people say you don't get rich from giving. I mean, wait, people say you don't get poor from giving. That's what I think I meant to say. People will say that. They're like, you're not poor. You don't get poor from giving. And I was like, oh, that's true. I think they're right. I saw this video the other day. You guys ever watch Tony Robbins? You guys Tony Robbins fans? Anybody a Tony Robbins fan? I went and I love that documentary on Netflix. It's called I Am Not Your Guru. That's a really good doc. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys should go check it out. I Am Not Your Guru. It's a great documentary on Netflix. It talks about Tony Robbins and it talks about his events. It doesn't talk about what I'm about to say in that documentary. In that documentary, it's just a documentary about him, and it doesn't talk about this. But I saw another interview with him, and it was about him when he was at rock bottom. Like, he was at rock freaking bottom, guys. He had $7 in his pocket, and he was living in this like single room flat like I'm about to, and he was just, you know, really feeling down on his luck. And he gave away his last $7. He gave it away. I forget the exact story, but it was a really moving story. Someone basically was in a really tough spot. I think he realized like this guy's in a rougher spot than I am, and he gave this guy like his last $7 or something. Something along those lines. And it basically just like changed something in him from giving. He gave his last $7. It's crazy. And then I think that next day he said he gave his last $7 and he went home and he sat there and he was like, he's like, I need to do something. He's like, I got to get out of this rock bottom. I need to make a move. And he said, and I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if this is just a coincidence or if this is just good storytelling, but he said the next day someone called him up that he hadn't heard from in 5 years. And he said, yo man, remember that $2,000 you lent me 5 years ago? I'm sorry, man. I've been avoiding you. I didn't have the money to pay you, and I finally do. And I'm sorry, but here it is. And here's some interest. So he gave away his last $7, and he sat there in that space. Really feeling it, really feeling it. And next day, $2,500 came back to him that it was owed to him. Like it was already his money, right? But it wasn't in his pocket. He didn't know it was going to be there. He didn't know he was going to get it back. So that was a big day for him. He realized like, oh man, I got to give. He's like, I got to give more. So he's looking at how to give more. And I thought that was really cool. Anyway, XRP Tipbot. If you go to xrptipbot.com and sign in, at the very bottom right here, you can see people, I love this. People have been gifting me 0.0589 XRP on my ILP. And that's really cool. You can see this is actually the XRP ledger. So these are actually just donation gifts. So people are like donating a gift to my ILP address, which is an international money address, international receiving address for money or for crypto. And it'll be open up to other crypto, I think. But right now it's just XRP that I'm interested in taking. So I think it's the only one that's on there right now. But this is a gift. Like people keep sending me these 589 gifts. I really like it. It means a lot. But if you go over to this ILP Coil, you can see like, wow, as of right now, that's awesome. I didn't even know that this was gonna be here. Normally it's like a couple drops, but I just got 8 million drops, or 8 XRP, 8.27 XRP directly from my ILP connector. From streaming this show right now. So streaming this show to you right now, I've been paid in XRP. And that is really cool. That's really, really, really cool. And I really like that. I think that's one of the things that kind of is exciting about this whole ecosystem. This whole thing's really exciting. There's a lot happening and there's a lot being built. And this is what kind of confuses us. These are the things that take us away from the real conversation, is when we look at the price. When we look at the price, and we look at these cycles, right? Because we kind of like, the first thing you check maybe when you're thinking about thinking about XRP is probably the price, right? You're probably not thinking about, well, how's the ecosystem development going, or how's the last developer conference? How are the developers talking about the new innovation for the ledger? And some of the bigger things that I think are exciting about XRPL that we just touched on briefly, I forget your name. I don't have the comments up right now. I can't see it, but I think it's like Bullable Guy said something about the IMF being able to create their own coin. And that's what we've said for a minute, is like the IMF could create anyone. If I can do it, like I made my own Kung Fu Nerd coin, anyone can do it, right? And the thing is that they'll probably be able to create more trust lines than I will. So their coin might be a little bit more easily adopted. And if they use the XRP ledger to build their own central bank digital currencies on top of it, then we can expect, again, that the price right now has no reflection for what it'll look like when the utility of those CBDCs launches. And that's a big thing to look at. And then when you see, again, we're always just speculating about price and where it's going to go, and it distracts us from the real conversation of what's happening with the ecosystem and what's happening with the market. So that's a good run through. It's a good think about. That's a good update for today. Smash like, smash sub. Thank you so much. Is that like a fork? Is what like a fork? I'm trying to catch up with your comments because I was just rambling. I thought the market cap was like something. I'm confused. Why is Bitcoin Cash up 50% in 24 hours? That's a good question, bro. It's up. It's only up 35% on Live Coin Watch. But Bitcoin Cash, did Bitcoin Cash just take EOS? Wow, Bitcoin Cash is on a run right now. Bitcoin Cash just took a run over EOS inside of our broadcast. Let's go see if we can see this in real time. Bitcoin Cash ABC. Wow, there you go. Let's look at it inside an hour, 2 hour maybe. So this is happening right now. We're at 145. We're on a little bit of a run. Actually, it's retracing. Let's take it back to, let's look at a 5 minute for fun. So wow, there we go. That's what just happened with Bitcoin Cash. A good call. Thanks for Jacob. Thanks for showing that. Thanks for chiming in, man, and putting that out in the chat. I didn't even see this happening. I'm thinking about getting like a special monitor. I'm thinking about building like a little Pi. Like I'm thinking about getting a Raspberry Pi and putting a specialized application together that basically is just like a 10% alarm bell. Like anything that moves or drops above 10% away from the rest of the market, it would be give me alarm. And if you guys are smarter and better and more and have more resources to do that, and you make one, please send it to me. Please send it to me. I almost bought. I'm glad I double checked. You almost bought what? You almost bought XRP or Bitcoin Cash. Amazing doc. I loved it. Yeah, that is a great doc. I love Tony Robbins' doc, the I'm Not Your Guru. And I'm not really the biggest Tony Robbins fan. Like I never really knew anything about Tony Robbins, and I kind of thought he was a joke. I was like, yeah, that guy, Mr. Run a conference and tell you how to live your life better guy. And I watched the documentary and I was like, this guy's legit. Like this guy's legit as fuck. Oh, sorry about that time I cursed. But yeah, he's legit, man. And he really cares. And you know, like his morning routine and shit, like his get up routine, his morning routine inspired me. Inspired me a lot. But as someone that really thinks about their wellness and health and well-being and their personal prosperity, Tony Robbins really did have a big impact on me watching that doc. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I was like, this guy's awesome. And he really does care. He tries. He puts a lot of time and effort into that. Like he has teams of people like watching the people. He has teams of people like checking on them, making sure they're in a good spot, like really challenging them and pushing them. Like, and you have to. You got to push people, but you also have to catch them. You know, like you got to push them and be ready to catch. So... Thoughts on the BG123 manifesto? I have no idea what that is. I don't even know what that is. And honestly, I don't think that that's anything. It doesn't sound like anything to me. I'll make my own manifesto, and it probably will be more relevant than whatever that one is. BG123 manifesto sounds like a really easy way to get people engaged in some clickbaity bullshit when there's no real news. That's what it sounds like to me. So maybe I'll make a video about it. I think I want to start doing more videos like that, where I used to do all these videos where I was like doing RMRs and I was like trying to like be funny. And I think I'm just going to start trolling the shit out of this community. And I'm sorry if that pisses you off. I'm sorry if you're like, don't roast anybody. I'm going to start roasting people and trolling the shit out of this community because that is fucking jack. Thoughts on the BG123 manifesto. I'll fucking give you some thoughts. Hey, KFN, do you think that the ledger is unhackable like their whole database? I don't want to put my eggs in one basket. I use Binance Ledger and Polynex. That's a great question. XRP Junkie, to put some context around his question, is asking about how safe is the XRP ledger. Now, I will say that the XRP ledger is the most secure, I believe, at this point. But Clarity totally answered you in the next comment, and she's right. Anything is hackable. The thing right now is that we don't really have the computational power to break apart these ledgers, but quantum computing could change that. In fact, I know my brother has some really smart friends that are really into this stuff, and he has a guy that he's friends with that went back to school for quantum computing, and it's a big thing. It's a big thing coming out right now, and people are excited to be joining this development, this new innovation. And quantum computing could literally just strip apart Bitcoin. Like quantum computing in 4 or 5 years could just shred through Bitcoin and it would not be secure at all. Like there would be no security in Bitcoin because it would just be able to take apart the entire ledger. It could see all the addresses. It could see all the IP addresses. It could see all the people where they are. It could see all the coins. It could literally take apart the ledger and take your private key right out of it, because that's how that you can't even contemplate how much of a step up improvement quantum computing is over our standard computing right now. So yes, it's very hackable, and that's why even David Schwartz talks about the quantum resistance being a big thing. Quantum resistance is some big shit. And that's, again, guys, we're looking at this technology being developed and innovated and taken from the ground up, and they're just doing the best they can. They're just doing the best they can. That's awesome. Hey, what's up? Japan in the house. Cheers. Thanks from Japan. Should I ask random people if they're familiar with XRP? Dude, do it. Go do it. Go make that video. I'll watch it. I will watch that shit, bro. Don't tease me with a good video. I'm excited about your video now. You better go make it. Hashish Brillo is talking about COMEX Rule 589. That whole COMEX rule thing is kind of a joke too. COMEX does not apply to crypto at all in my mind. You can't put a regulator on those things. The COMEX rule is for stocks. COMEX Rule 589 is totally another like BG 123 circle jerk in my mind. I don't know. You guys can believe whatever you want, and you guys can think about whatever you want. But in reality, I'm going to go ahead and start just like saying how it is. And how it is that there is a reality that the BG24 jerk-off circle is kind of tiring. And also the, what else did you just talk about? The COMEX rule. I know a lot of people that I respect might champion that. And I still respect you guys. Like, I'm sorry. Oh, wait. I got to go. Farewell. Cheers. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Cheers. Have a great day. Until I see you next time. Buy Ledger. Buy all the things. Click the link. Farewell. Have a great day. Until then, cheers.
Brought to you by your team.